tapes when he trains the football players. He's got like TVs.
Oh,
and
yeah.
He plays them while they're training.
And they were what really made me realize that you could, the old bodybuilding methods of building muscle, like everything has to be in the 8 to 15 rep range. Those guys were jacked, and they're doing all singles, just one, power clean, hang clean, push press, deep squats, and kind of made me change my thinking where, to get bigger and to add muscle, you don't always have to do the traditional bodybuilding stuff, but when you do some of that type of stuff sprinkled in with what I consider traditional bodybuilding stuff, which is great, that's where you really get the best results. And it's when I started kind of coming up with the whole West Side for Skinny Bastards, I'm borrowing stuff from West Side and them, and thinking, man, we're gonna start the workout with lifting heavy and then go into more of a bodybuilding portion of the workout, finishers and things like that. I kind of that really opened my eyes to that. So
I'm motivated to go to Iron Mind and order that.
This was another cool. Back in the day when they didn't let you into the combine, I had an insider give me some combine raw footage. So when I was training guys for the combine and nobody knew what went on in the RCA dome, was like, well, we know they run the 40, but what else is there? This was like an underground VHS tape that a friend of a friend got me, and I saw everything that they did in there, and really helped me come up with the
You should get these converted to DVD for you.
Yeah, that's definitely on the list. So those are some old school underground VHS tapes.
You got the Dorian Yates Blood and Guts up there.
Oh, you gotta have that.
I remember when I first bought it, I came back from a bodybuilding show, and I had to work the next morning at 6, but I still watched it. I remember it was like 2 a.m.
Oh, the day that came in the mail, I better believe I dropped everything I was doing and I was watching that.
Sick. So talk to us about, these are the business books at the top.
Some of them are worthless.
What would be your favorite or top 3?
It's right here's number 1, without a doubt.
E-Myth.
The E-Myth.
Nice.
Why most small businesses don't work and what to do about it. Easily, I could go on this whole bookshelf, and this is one that my eye's always drawn to, and it's actually the second copy I had, because the old one I read so much and made so many marks on, it literally fell apart. So this was the revisited edition.
What do you think of the Mastery, E-Myth Mastery?
Yeah, and then that went with this. Definitely just get the regular one first, and then the Mastery course was basically stepped up. Revisited basically what you learned in the regular one, and then to me this is the business Bible. You pick up something from all these books, but for the most part it's like, man, 1 and 2 or just the E-Myth and every version of it. It is dead on what you're going to go through when you try to run your own business, and it's something we talk about in the seminar that I did with Zach, and the DVD and the audio CD that we did. This book is the only book I ever read on business that I could say from page 1 to the end is dead on. It's whoever wrote it, or the guy Michael Gerber when he wrote it, man, he hit the nail on the head. So I can't recommend that one.
You know what I like, dude? How Alan Cosgrove told me that sometimes you don't have to even read the full book, but if you just see the title, it'll motivate you. So like this thing right here, first break all the rules. So sometimes I tell people, like, if you know nothing else in your business, be different. And then Starbucks experience, just keep reminding people to create the experience. Yeah, the Starbucks one is definitely cool. Obviously, I have no, although I love my coffee and my caffeine, I have no, no dreams of opening up a coffee shop, but that just talks about the experience and how when you leave there, you don't forget it, and why they're able to charge such a ridiculous amount of money for that coffee, and it's still packed every day you go. Another one that stands out just real quick, because it's not that popular, is Starting From Scratch. Was a real cool book. I read this one, and I'm not a fast reader. I read it in one day. Basically what they did was take small businesses and people that started up, kind of what reminds me of myself and Zach, where they were just people who had a passion for something. They started up, and it's just, I think there's like 7 or 8 unique stories of people who started businesses, and none of them did it the traditional way. There's a lot of cool stories in that one as well. So those are Tony Dungy's Quiet Strength, not a business book, but I put it in the business section because it's just about being a great person and being passionate about what you do. And man, he's that's the last book I read that wasn't a business or a training book. It's just
a guy that everybody could learn something from.
Nice. Now, dude, I'm looking at Body Opus. I so remember that book.
I did this diet back in the day.
Did Dan Duquesne passed away?
Yeah, he
right?
passed away. But
This was back from the EAS days. I used to have the supplement, like Bible or whatever that.
Oh
EAS
yeah, I got
put
that's somewhere in here too. The supplement book I got.
I think
You
that's
asked
it.
for it, and you got it. 1996 supplement review.
Oh my goodness.
I had them all.
That was a pretty cool book.
It was actually really
This is
good.
probably my favorite, The Secrets of Soviet Sports and Fitness. Now it's Secret of Russian Sports and Fitness Training, and of course I love.
That's a great one.
I
The
wrote
original.
Education of a Bodybuilder. I read that thing. I took it out in high school, like from sophomore year through senior year, all the time, so no other kids could take it out. My name was the only one that filled out like the 20 library cards on it.
This was another kind of hidden gem.
I love it.
Hear about it.
I buy all the guys, all those books. It's awesome.
Fitness and strength training for all sports. It's an awesome one of those. I just kind of kept going back to. Not one you hear about a lot, but man, if you could get your hands on this one, this was one. This I think was one of the top 3, like the first 3 books that I ever read, and
I'll
still go back to it
when I
today.
take them through my library, I'll show them that the related books that are written, I think, through that company. It's awesome, sick stuff.
And one more hidden gem. I know there's a million on here, but this is another one that
Oh,
everybody
yeah.
forgets about, man. Dinosaur Training, not the most scientific book in the world. A lot of these other ones, you're going to get more out of just learning about the body and how it functions, and it's awesome. You need all that stuff, but when I got this book, I sat down with this one, read it to cover, and probably nothing motivated me more to just train hard, lift heavy, go back to the old school, what my dad did with me back in the day, and just a lot of great ideas from a guy.
I'm shocked there's no photos in there.
No, and that's the thing. And at the time when I got this, I was young, and you're kind of looking for books with photos.
Right.
And still, right when you start reading this, man, you can't put it down.
I actually have his DVD on it's like called like Bags, Barrels, and More. He's like training with kegs and logs and like.
I got the
sewer.
DVD too.
You have that DVD?
It's,
Every time Brooks
Get
does like
everything
3 reps, he's always like breathing heavy.
Oh,
you got the VHS.
I got the VHS. So I know I was doing
but it is very cool.
All the Louis videos.
Oh man, I just sold all mine on
all
eBay.
the VHS. I got
Pavel stuff.
Yeah, these are all my notes from all the seminars that I went to way back in the day. Just notes of this was a Fred Hatfield seminar.
You told me that was like the best one.
One of the best seminars I ever.
He told you that even when you take a shit, you should be explosive.
Always explode when you get up from the toilet bowl. Explode when you get up from the computer. Explode, and I actually have that in my notes to explode with everything you do. And these are things I always, as you can see, I kept mostly everything, and still go back to them. I'll be sitting at that computer writing an article and be like, man, what did